y'all, Kelly Whitney. I'm back with lesson number 5 in my series, Things Older Black Women Should Tell Younger Black Women, but don't. Number 5 is have standards. Specifically, do not condone or accept mistreatment. I think as Black women, it's almost the rest of the world's instinct or first move to mistreat you. It's a sad fact. You can disagree if you want to, but I've been walking the earth for almost 50 years, and that has been my experience. That has been many of my friends' experience, and mistreatment is never far from your side when you're a Black woman. When you don't accept mistreatment, that means people can't do and say what they want to you. You have some rules for your life. You have rules for conduct and behavior, your own and other people's, and those boundaries will not be crossed. It also means that you don't condone when you see people mistreating others. A good example of this would be a young girl in an academic environment like school, high school, for instance, sees people who are ganging up on, maybe the nerdy kid or the fat girl or whatever, the person who's not, socially acceptable for whatever arbitrary, stupid ass reason. You don't need to be a hero, but in that situation, and this is something that I've personally done when I was in high school, I just took that person around the shoulders and walked them away. Like, y'all doing too much. Just take that person and walk away. And I remember another example was, I was downtown. I live in Chicago, by the way. I was downtown, and these suburban kids, it was maybe 4 or 5 of them, were making fun of this bum. And this brother was, he was obviously down and out, and he was standing there taking it. And I said, y'all need to go back to the suburbs where there's no threats. And I looked as threatening as I could, at that time, I think I was maybe $120 soaking wet. But I was tough, I was tough, and I just scared them away. And then I read his black ass for filth. I was like, you know what? It was pretty obvious you weren't gonna get any change from those jerks. So why the fuck did you just stand there and let them abuse you, dummy? Stop it. Just because you out here panhandling don't mean you gotta accept it when people treat you like shit. Good night. Once somebody crosses that line with you, they're gonna keep going further and further and further and further to see how far they can push you, how far they can mistreat you, and they won't stop if they're the wrong type of person, and you could really end up in a bad situation. Whereas if you have standards for how you conduct yourself and how you allow others to speak to you and treat you, you can save yourself some hurt. And you may be able to save some other people from some hurt. But when it comes to you and what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take, you gotta think about that. Because the thing about being young, being a young Black woman, a lot of times you're innocent, until you're not. I think Black people in general are just quite kind. But we get shit on and then we turn mean. But being charming, being loving, having an open heart, being, respectful of others, considerate, that doesn't mean I want you to accept hostship. Like me personally, I'm not gonna allow people to talk to me in any kind of way and then continue to enjoy my company. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's a lover, because from my perspective, if you talk to me crazy, you don't care about me, especially if you do it consistently. And a lot of times men will test you. They'll talk to you mean. They may even call you out of your name because they're testing you to see if it's okay. And it's up to you to say, it's a no. It's a hard motherfucking pass on that behavior, sir. You have a good day. And bounce. And it's not just about romantic love. Friendship dynamics is another huge one. Oh my God. Be very careful, because everybody's not your fucking friend. That's number one. I think people use that term friend way too loosely. You know what I mean? Sometimes motherfuckers are coworkers. Sometimes they're former classmates. Sometimes they're acquaintances. Sometimes that's just your cousin, whoever. That ain't necessarily your friend, okay? A friend is consistently good to you and would really do everything that they can not to hurt you. They're not going to be free with damaging remarks, those bullshit ass compliments that are really insults. And don't just take that. That's not something that you just have to accept in order to have friends. You may have to spend some time by yourself, but I can guarantee you, while you're alone working on getting your shit together, the good Lord is probably like lining up some besties for you, or at least some acquaintances or some people that you can go out and shoot the shit with and go out to brunch or whatever with, movies, and have a good time, who don't treat you like shit and then laugh about it and say, oh, just kidding. Bitch, no, you weren't. Good night. As it pertains to standards for how you treat yourself and how other people treat you, have them. Figure out what they are. I can't tell you what they are. You have to figure that out for yourself. But I hope that they will be high so that you will treat yourself well and that you will insist that other people do the same. Because as a Black woman, mistreatment is going to be as common as you not getting a sunburn. The world is what it is. The world has some very fucked up ideas about Black womanhood, and they see you, and often their first instinct is not good. It's to mistreat rather than to treat well. But that's lesson number 5. Treat yourself well, treat others well, have standards for what you're going to accept and what you're going to condone by way of mistreatment, and your life will be better. And please come back for lesson number 6 in my series, Things Older Black Women Should Tell Younger Black Women But Don't, because I want y'all to live easy and well and avoid some of the hope shit that I didn't, because some Black broad was gatekeeping and wasn't telling me the real deal, you know? I'll see you next time.